Tukoi Gar! Greetings, I am Tad Larkin, the lore master of Manda-LORE, and today I'll be digging through the archives to elaborate on the Jedi bounty hunter, Durge. Durge was a Jedi, a species renowned for their unique ability to regenerate their flesh, born sometime around 2,022 years before the Battle of Yavin. Early in his life, Durge displayed great strength and cunning, and when he came of age, he left his home planet and sought to become a great hunter. Soon after, he found himself under the tutelage of a former Mandalorian training master, known only as Jang, and from him, Durge learned the art of the hunt, as well as more ways to kill than he had previously known. Well on into their lessons, the duo were approached by a mysterious cyberneticist with an offer they couldn't refuse. He would augment them with the latest in cybernetic technologies, and in return, Jang and Durge would protect him from powerful enemies who sought to steal a Sith artifact that he managed to recover. After traveling to an undisclosed location in the Outer Rim and fighting off this mysterious man's guard beast, Durge and Jang agreed to his offer and underwent cybernetic augmentation, which was successful, although difficult for Durge, whose skin kept regenerating during the procedure. Upon awaking from their surgeries, the trainer-trainee duo tested their new abilities against the cyberneticist's latest augmentation, his assistant Nubel. However, their sparring match was cut short when a squad of Mandalorian mercenaries burst into the room and engaged them. Hired by the cyberneticist's rivals, the Mandalorians were sent to recover the Sith artifact, and met heavy opposition from Durge, Jang, and Nubel. However, while Durge was incapacitated, the mercs killed Jang. Enraged and filled with grief for his mentor, Durge slaughtered a majority of the Mandalorian strike team and pursued the others still fleeing for their lives, and thus Durge's hatred for the Mandalorians was born, as he would never forget the death of Jang at their hands. With the Mandalorians briefly allying with the Republic, Durge fought with the Sith during the ongoing New Sith Wars, and faced off against many Jedi, developing a taste for it, and even began to consider Jedi hunting his most enjoyable sport. At the end of the New Sith Wars, with the 7th Battle of Ruusan, Durge went into hiding from the Republic, but continued his career in bounty hunting under several aliases. In 132 BBY, Durge accepted a contract for a bounty on the current Manda-LORE at the time, and although he was successful in eliminating his target, Durge was captured by the Mandalorians and severely tortured at their hands, just furthering his already monumental hatred for them. Eventually escaping from captivity, Durge was so badly wounded after 8 years of agonizing torture that he had to enter a state of hibernation, one that took a century for him to fully regenerate. 100 years later, in 24 BBY, Durge awoke from his century-long hibernation, angry and ready to kill more Mandalorians. However, he was disappointed to find that a majority of the galaxy's Mandalorians were killed off during the Mandalorian Civil War, and those that remained either lived quiet lives farming and hunting back on Mandalore, or were secretly training with the Republic's classified clone army. Durge was soon contacted by Count Dooku, leader of the emerging Confederacy of Independent Systems, with an offer to join his cause, promising that he would have a whole army of Mandalorians cloned from former Mandalore Jango Fett to kill as often and as brutally as he liked. Faced with no other real alternative, Durge accepted Dooku's offer and attained the rank of commander in the steadily growing CIS military. 2 years later, the Clone Wars broke out, and shortly after the opening battle of Geonosis, Durge was tasked by Count Dooku to track down the newly orphaned Boba Fett, which led him to Tatooine, where he took a contract on an individual wanted by the Hutts. Turns out, the young Fett also accepted the same bounty, and after being stalled by order of Jabba the Hutt, Durge continued to pursue Fett. However, the clever young boy managed to escape Durge and complete the bounty simultaneously by setting off an explosion that incapacitated Durge and killed the bounty. While Dooku was disappointed with Durge, he gave him another chance. This time, Durge was to team up with the Ratatakai Dark Jedi, Asajj Ventress, where the two would test the new CIS bioweapon codenamed Swamp Gas on Naboo's moon of Oma-Da'un. The Gungan colonists on Oma-Da'un fell swiftly to the deadly swamp gas, and pleased with the results, Durge and Ventress began preparations for a full-scale biochemical attack on Naboo itself. A Republic strike team led by Obi-Wan Kenobi and Anakin Skywalker, accompanied by Jedi Master Glaive, Zul this, and Arc Lieutenant Alpha 17 was quickly dispatched to Omnibus to counter this threat. The duo found that they worked well with one another as they laid into their enemies with glee, killing Glaive and wounding Zool's Disc. And while Durge was busy handling Kenobi and Skywalker, Alpha 17 managed to destroy the landing ships loaded with swamp gas, neutralizing the threat to Naboo. Recovering from their failure at Omnibus, Durge and Ventress set up a trap on the molten world of Queta, where they knew the Jedi would come seeking an antidote for the swamp gas, as well as neutralizing Jenna's Ann Arbor's CIS research facility. 4 months after the Battle of Geonosis, that trap was sprung when a strike team of 5 Jedi, led by Kenobi, landed on Queta, and they soon met stiff opposition by Durge and Ventress, who murdered 4 of the Jedi and left Kenobi alive with the antidote, under strict orders to do so by Dooku. A week or 2 later, Durge was rotated to Munilinst, where he was assigned to protect the banking clan chairman, San Hill, as well as lead the CIS defense of the besieged world. Leading a cavalry charge of IG Lancer droids and taking out a majority of the Republic artillery, Durge met General Kenobi a 3rd time, when he countered with his own cavalry charge, and the two dueled briefly, but Durge was bested by Kenobi. However, when Obi-Wan led his forces' final push into the Separatist HQ, a regenerated Durge was there to hinder Kenobi yet again. And if it wasn't for the ARC Trooper Captain Fordo, Durge may have finally defeated his rival. However, victory was reserved for Kenobi that day. Disappointed with Durge's and Ventress's failures of the last few months, Dooku thought of no better punishment than to test his most promising protege against them. And, 6 months into the Clone Wars, Dooku sent them to Trenchant Space Station to track down an unknown intruder. The Kaleesh cyborg General Grievous, who months earlier achieved a great victory at Hypori, engaged Durge and Ventress with the agility and speed they had never seen before, and just as Grievous incapacitated Durge by beheading him and was about to kill Ventress, Dooku spared their lives. In 20 BBY, as the CIS was making considerable gains in the core worlds, Durge set up a trap on the prison world of Embardi with the hopes of attracting Jedi. And sure enough, Jedi Masters Plo Koon and Kit Fisto were sent to put down a riot on Embardi, where Durge then sprung his trap. Durge seemingly had the upper hand, and when his moment of triumph was close, he was shot by a prisoner named Zamas, and the Jedi took this opportunity to trap Durge in the lower levels of the prison so that they could make their escape. Embardi never held Durge for long, and once he found his way out, Durge began preparations for a trap that would lure Obi-Wan Kenobi and Anakin Skywalker into a confrontation that he could finally win. 2 years and 7 months after Geonosis, he collaborated with a Falleen Black Sun Vigo named Zist, who told Obi-Wan, who was hell-bent on finding Ventress at the time, that he would find her attacking a space yacht currently in the Karthak sector orbiting Maramir. Upon Obi-Wan and Anakin boarding the yacht, they fell into Durge's trap, and after delivering a savage beating to the 2 Jedi, Anakin managed to force-push Durge into an escape pod, where he jettisoned the Jedi and gently guided his pod into Maramir's star, ending the life of this 1,000-year-old bounty hunter. Allegedly. However, sometime after the Battle of Yavin, Imperial researchers on Dantooine were given a badly charred being to restore back to life, and while they noted the regeneration rate of this being to be remarkable, they had no knowledge of the being's origin. Unable to restore him to full health, they encased him in a new suit of battle armor codenamed Project Durge. Unfortunately for Project Durge, he crossed paths with Boba Fett, who had a contract put out on him that was eventually carried out by an unknown spacer. This transmission was suggested by Sherwillis Kiddig. If you have any suggestions for future transmissions, don't be afraid to drop a comment. In the meantime, keep your comm channels open for future transmissions, and don't forget to subscribe. Tad Larkin, out.